In the beginning was the end, but could the moments in between, comma, our broken hearts mend? Full stop. That sentence encapsulates all the bodies of work that Manana has released in the last 5 years. EPs and album editions aside, this Swati-born South Ahmed singer-songwriter has given us a trilogy from a singular voice. Let's talk to him about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of It's my podcast. I'm Helen Herimbi-Moremi. That's why it's called This is the podcast where I get to sit down with people who really intrigue me, people whose music makes me go And I have the pleasure of sitting down with Manana. Hi.
Hello.
How are
you doing?
you? You first.
Yeah, fair. I am good, I think.
Okay.
Life is throwing hands, but I'm throwing them right back.
Who's winning? You or life?
I'm in a good condition, so I think I'm doing well.
I think the fact that you are here means that you are winning.
No, look.
Because the other side, you don't get to come back.
Fair. That's fair.
And what's been making you go, lately?
So much. I don't know if you know this, but I'm an Arsenal fan.
Is that
So I'd like to start there.
Like on purpose, you're an Arsenal fan?
Oh, yeah. Look, to be fair, I started watching football when Thierry Henry was the best player in the world. And he sold his dreams.
Hectic.
So Arsenal is probably what's been making me go, for the first time in a long time.
That sounds like in a bad way, though.
No.
Like Linzani.
No, shall win.
Oh, okay, good.
You know, yeah. And then, I've been in the studio, which I thought I was going to take a break for a little bit, but as it turns out, I like it. So
I think that's kind of integral for your occupation.
Funny though, like, not a common occurrence. Anyway, I like it. So I've been in studio and
Is it sounding amazing?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah. What kind of bag are you in right now? Because obviously we're going to talk about the music that just came out, but like the music you're making now.
Oof. I don't know how to explain it because I think since, I started releasing and, honing in my sound, it's been the struggle of my career to be able to necessarily like label what kind of bag.
I don't even mean genre. I mean like where you at, like how is it coming out? How is your state coming out into your music?
Initially, jaded. Things have changed. And I think there's a little bit of introspection. There's a little bit. More love, more hate, and everything in between. I think it's funny. Like creating music is the one space where I think you actually have to interrogate yourself. Everywhere else, really, kind of just go through. You can go with emotions.
Yeah.
I think been a lot of thinking. Also, it's a space where because you're making music, you're not playing it for anyone really. So you listen, you leave studio, and you're like, yo, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And the next day you wake up and you're like, is it amazing though? And then like a week later, I listen to something like, oh, it is.
Yeah.
And then you go through that like hill and valley kind of journey until you release. Yeah.
Yeah. What made you jaded?
I mean, I speak about this a lot. Like, I try not to take the happenings of life personally, but I don't get it right most days.
Yeah.
Well, not most days, but a lot. So it's like the things that happen in our industry that I don't think are unique to our industry, like the creative space, I think sometimes you can take personally.
Okay.
And so I, had to reset and remind myself that nothing's that big of a deal, really. Yeah.
Okay. You didn't ask me what makes me go, So,
my bad.
It's very rude.
I'm joking. What makes you go,
Actually, now we're done. I think you can go.
Thank you so much. It's a nice space you have here.
Let's do it again. It actually is something that you just talked about, right? That you've been in studio. And I think for those of us who aren't musicians, right, we've grown up with this idea that musicians are in studio, you make the music comes out, you go on tour or press runs or you're living life, and then you make music, and then, you know, and that's the cycle. But when I was living with your music and just with you in the past couple of weeks preparing for this, I realized that you have been hiding in plain sight, which made me go, Because 2 years ago, you went on TikTok and you're like, oh, I'm choosing songs for my album. And then you put Cynical on there. And then you didn't put it out.
Yep. Indeed. To be honest with you, it's funny because Cynical, the story of Cynical is one of probably about 8 or 9 songs on the project.
Oh, really?
And I'm not saying this like as a thing, like, you know, I didn't think, because I genuinely wasn't keen on releasing about 8 of the songs.
Why?
And people's reaction was the thing that convinced me. I don't know, I just felt as though, here's the other chat, right? Like, we start making music and then we live with it for a while. And I think sometimes you struggle to kind of distinguish between something that's just old to you or something that you don't feel like is good anymore. That's a tough, you know. And I think some of those songs that we had started writing, I just felt as though maybe I'd become a better writer. But when I played it for the people, like the internal team that we were kind of making the music with, they were like, dude, this song is still one of the best songs. This song is still one of the best songs, you know? And then obviously because of that conversation, the new stuff, the old stuff, we kind of took it down from probably about 25, 30 songs to get to the 15, 16. And Cynical, unfortunately, was one of those that we just couldn't find a place for in the project. But everyone involved in writing and then producing the song loved the song. And I think when it was time to, you know, put an end to the trilogy of the projects we've been doing, it was like, no, Cynical has to be one of those things just because it's a part of the story, actually, you know?
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot.
Which is good, no?
Okay, cool. Yeah. I just talk a lot, I'm sorry.
I really like Cynical. And I feel like, so the album we're talking about, because I should probably give context, is Our Broken Hearts Mend, which you put out last year. But this version is Our Broken Hearts Mend, full stop, which has a few more tracks on it, some extended versions of tracks. And for me, like, when you first made the announcement that you're putting this album out, I was like, oh, okay, great. Oh, I know the song. I know, like, you know, but obviously I don't know them until I listen to them. I'm like, oh, I know this title. And I'm listening and I'm driving. And immediately Cynical, I was like, you know that guy on the internet who makes the ribs and stuff?
The ribs?
Yeah, and they fall off the bone and then he gets up.
Yeah.
I felt like that.
Okay.
I felt like that. Wow. And I felt like you held out on us.
It's tricky, to be honest with you. Like, here comes the trouble. I think we're in an interesting market.
As a country or?
As a country, but region in particular, like Africa as a continent, is an interesting market in the sense that we're kind of juggling the fact that a lot of the music that comes out of the region is obviously like drenched in identity, but that also means that we then assign identity to a certain expression of being African.
Okay.
I'm going somewhere with this. Which kind of then ends up dictating what we as creatives perceive to be the taste of the people.
Okay.
And the only way we're able to actually gauge what is resonating with our people is through the reactions of social media. And the songs that I love the most don't often get the best reaction.
On social or when you're performing?
A little bit of both. It's funny because there'll be some songs that will get reaction on socials, and then you perform them live and the energy is there. But then a random song, like on the album Never After, is a song that every time you perform that one people sing word for word, but no one cared for it really upon release.
Yeah.
So it's tough to know what. Yeah, the region it's tough to confirm basically, you know. And I think even now, like, I mean, I'm keen to play some music after this, perhaps, but like, there's some songs right now that I'm like, ooh, this is gold. But in my mind, the first thing is, but I don't know if it's for our market or for our time, because I think music is also in a different space where people want music to be multi-purpose as opposed to be music for music's sake. Yeah.
I imagine that's challenging because you're not making an album for Helen. But I personally, I would have liked to hear this. And it makes me go, what are the other 15 songs that I haven't heard?
That's funny.
But yeah, so you mentioned Never After, right? Which kind of feels like the phrase also shows up in Cynical. Why was that on your mind as a phrase? Because it's not something that people would say all the time.
I think it's quite final. Like, most people can relate with heartbreak, which sucks. But most people can also relate with this thing of like, okay, we just had this conversation to cut something off, but is there something still? You know that vibe where it's, the heartache is there, but the hope that gets you is also there, and you know, there's the back and forth. But Never After is almost like this kind of final phrase to be like, nah, like it's over.
Yeah, like for real.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's a powerful phrase. It's a powerful kind of, you know, I think picture to paint.
Yeah. There's a lot of powerful phrases that you have on Cynical. And I guess like one of them is infinite ended with a broken heart. Like, how are you thinking of these things? Like they just come up to you?
I'm trying to think of the phrase and how we got there. So I remember starting this song with Ubele Boy, one of the exec producers, and half of the production duo, the imports, with David Balshaw.
Who's also credited as a writer.
Oh, yeah. And I think what happens usually when we're putting songs together, especially the three of us, is we come up with the concept and then we kind of stumble onto what exactly we want to say about the concept. So Cynical as a concept came up very strong.
Like how? Can you like put me in the room?
Okay, so we're talking about a relationship context of one of the people in the room, right? And it was about like, I mean, the verse actually, like, I'm upset when I think about the days we could have spent. It just starts like that. And it's like, the breakups that end in like this, like, you know, you are evil and you suck, whatever. Then you go tell your friends she's evil anyway. That feels like even if it's a lie, like it's easier to deal with that kind of stuff. It's harder to deal with the relationship where you're like, dude, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. Except this one thing that needed to work.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this thing was. It is like, everything is perfect. Everything about this relationship and situation is perfect. It's this one thing.
Yeah.
It's like a pillar of like what I need. And that's how the song starts. It was actually an intense session. And that's where the thought of infinite ended with a broken heart, because up until that broken heart moment happens, we have infinity in mind. Like for us, it's ride or die. It's you and I until I die. And then just this one thing kind of cuts it with a broken heart, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what vexes me about that?
No.
The other line. Well, there's many lines.
Yeah.
I feel like we could talk about like
Cool.
just the song
Yeah,
for the whole
gotcha.
hour. But like when you sing, turns out missing you is harder because I'm short of breath more or less every moment since we've been apart. Because like what must you do now?
Yeah.
Because the infinity was gonna be good.
Yeah, but I mean also like that line, like blow, you know, beat my own horn. But like that line was so dope because it's like it kind of perfectly explains the realization of being like, oh, flip, like you make a decision and theorizing and having a theoretical kind of understanding of what's about to happen is so much easier, obviously, right? It's like knowing, actually, this is perfect. It's like knowing that like the water's cold and someone being like, bro, this water is cold. And you're like, aware, like it's cold. You're still going to jump in and be like, that's kind
and now
of.
breathing is harder.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, finish your thought because I feel like I just cut you now.
No, I'm sorry. I was just like, oh, no, yeah. That's actually, how that thing feels. Like, you know, you made the decision to cut this thing and now you're like, flip, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
How am I going to actually do this thing without you? But, yeah.
Yeah. This song, like, literally took over my life a little bit. Because I was like, why are you so good?
I hear you.
And then I was like, who's this other person that's credited here? And then I was like, oh, why didn't you guys just make another Find Your Way Back? Because they made Beyonce's Find Your Way Back. And then I was like, why? Like, we could have just been dancing. Now we are here in heartbreak. Like, tell me a little bit about when you have the opportunity or when you decide, I'm going to make a full stop version of this and I can add whatever I want because no one knows that these songs are supposed to be here. And then you don't go the dance route or like another whatever's hot right now. Yeah.
I always say this to like, I sound like an old man now, but I always say this like young artists who ask me about like taste making and how to make a decision around what music to release. And I'm always like, I've had the misfortune or fortune of never really being mainstream or like the, you know, straight ahead consumer vibe anyway. So making decisions for like music, I think it becomes easier because I'm not thinking about like, yo, what if people don't like this because it's the wrong whatever, you know? I also like respect the music we've been putting together with Willie and Dave. It's never gonna be a conversation. We never really have genre-specific conversations, so it's never gonna be a thing of like, you know, in this region or in this time or what's the perfect time to release a dance record or if I want to release a dance record in the middle of winter, we'll probably do it. But also to be fair, like credit to everyone that's been appreciating what we've been doing. Like the people who appreciate the music that I make have made life like easy when it comes to like deciding what to release.
Yeah.
People like appreciate and show love, which gives us confidence to be able to do more or less what we want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I feel like the only time we kind of dance a little bit on the new songs is It Always Ends With You. And it feels almost like not quite house music, but and I wish you guys could hear. Well, you can hear it now, but it feels like house when I was growing up. It feels like vocal house, and I know like all the dance enthusiasts are going to be like, "There's a word for that." But I'm curious about, especially where you put it in the track list. It doesn't sound like a straight story. It sounds like we're a little bit heartbroken. We want to embrace, and then we're dancing a little bit, ignoring the red flags, and then we're, you know, like, I guess, tell me about that song.
It's kind of what you just painted in the sense that like we were thinking of this back and forth, which is kind of the story of the album, hills and valleys. And I think there's this quote that I love by C.S. Lewis, where he's talking about how the one thing that we struggle to accept as human beings is that the other than death, the only consistency we'll get is the ups and downs.
Okay.
And that's like in love, in life, and work, whatever you're doing, the only consistency you'll get is there will be ups and there will be downs. And I think that was kind of the vibe here. We didn't want to do like, I don't like doing a thing where it's like, this part of the album this is the section. And then we build and build and build and build. Yay, love.
Yeah.
But that's not life, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's kind of the thought behind this as well. It was like, okay, cool. We give this, we give that, we give this, we give that. That's always kind of the thought behind how we put track lists together, especially even with the new stuff. There's a bit of everything, but we give this and that always. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense?
It makes sense.
Okay, cool.
But I feel like if I took that song out, I can straight through listen. Like it doesn't alter my mood in a way that I would notice that, oh, I was dancing there and now I'm sad again. Whereas, you know what I mean? But tell me about the premise of the song.
The premise of that song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say a typical love song in the sense that it's two people discussing the journey of how they end up being unified. But more than that, I think it's the writing style of the song with the octaves with me and Lisa. For me, I wanted it to feel like a shorthand. You know, like when you've been in a relationship with someone for so long that, let's say you're out at a dinner and then someone says something that like ordinarily isn't funny or like unique, but you guys have had conversation about this unique subject where now, as soon as that person says something, you both look at it and you're like, yeah, that's what the song was supposed to be like.
Okay.
Or that's what I think I was hoping it would be like.
Yeah. I love this and hate this about you because like the minute you were talking about that scenario, something that's a shorthand in my relationship came up and
exactly.
I'm like,
oh, yeah,
that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I think that is the one song where I'm like, I wonder if there's more of this kind of thing from you.
Funny, we were talking with Lisa about expanding on the entire, like a lot of the artists that I work with, the singers are like, you're so phenomenal that you kind of want to always do more. You want to make the song longer. Maybe let's do another 4 songs together. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like juggling this thing of like, okay, cool, let's quit while we're on top because we did something dope, but also obviously we're going to work again. You know? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Thando Zide is the first voice we hear on this album. And I guess the obvious question is, what's your favorite Thando Zide song and why is it in 20?
Funny. Can I tell you my favorite Thando Zide song is actually
that people would know, because I know you're familiar with like a lot more.
I feel like Ngizognaga is one of the like.
I was preempting that you'd be like
fair.
some song that's gonna come out in 2029.
No. This is like a song that's been out and it's Ngizognaga because the phrase Ngizognaga is not something you can even translate properly. But it's so good.
Yeah.
Like the concept of Gugnaga. Oh man, I love that song so much. Yeah, so that's my favorite Thando Zide song. Yeah.
You guys don't know this, but when we first spoke about this album before Full Stop, I had no idea that you're not even on the original or the interlude of Isililo soThando.
I think a lot of people still don't know that.
It's just like, I think your voices, you know, mesh well together. And I think on the extended version, it's very clear who's who.
Yeah.
But without having you on it, and I guess the assumption that it's your album and all of that, obviously you and I spoke about it, but people don't be reading.
Yeah.
So why did you want to have a song that you're not even on such a seminal album initially?
So, how do I say this? I love Thando Zide as an artist, singer, person. We put the song that interlude comes from, the song that's called Why, onto the project. And I told the guys that I'd wanted an interlude, outerlude, outro, whatever. And initially the chat was, I want to send it to someone and give them the license to do whatever they want, just to have a different mind on one of the songs to start the song off.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I'll, add a verse or whatever. That was actually the initial chat, I think. But when Thando sent back what she had done on the song, I was like, oh, this is perfect. Naturally, it was one of many songs on the project that you like. It's not something that stands out really. And then as time has gone on, obviously people have resonated with that one in particular. Mm. And it's become, one of the songs that are most requested. But to be honest with you, it was just like wanting to have another artist's perspective to like breathe something fresh onto, the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when she sent her verse back, were you like, oh, let me add this verse that we now hear? Or did that only come after the response?
Yeah, it only came after. I think, actually, I listen sometimes to people. People were like, no, we need an extended version. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, then it makes sense for me to add now. Yeah. But initially, the 1 minute or whatever, however long it is, felt just right.
Yeah.
And then for all of us, because we were repeating it over and over, we're like, yeah, let's just make it like double the length and give a nice key change. I love a good key change. So it was perfect to actually extend it.
Yeah. I think it's so dope that it feels like we're having a conversation, or we as the audience are having a conversation with you, the artist, in real time. And even if it's not fast, because I mean, the album's been out a year, it feels like you gave us something, we gave you something back, you gave us something. And I think some of the other things that jump out at me are, I mean, Thando Zide is like, icon in the making.
Yeah.
But I also feel like when you guys get together, there's this isiZulu, isingisi, like that doesn't sound out of place. Yeah. And you guys also do it with your birthdays coming up.
Yeah.
So is that often intentional for you guys? Or you don't even think about it?
I don't think we think about it. But to be honest with you, I don't think I think about it in most situations. Like with the people I've had the privilege of working with, the biggest thing is trust. Like we actually get on, like out of the recording process, like as people, and that I think translates into the trust in the music. Obviously it matters that you're an amazing singer and talented person, obviously, but I think there's just a trust. Like a lot of the time, actually, if we're working on something, I think we can both trust that if I send you something and I don't get into the studio with you, it'll come back and it'll be perfect. There'll be no notes.
Really?
Oh yeah. And that's how there are like a few artists maybe that I can name in one hand or not name, that I know that if I send them something or if I ask them to do something, without a doubt, like I can go and eat a burger, watch football, and the verse will be perfect, without a doubt.
Amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like this extended version, obviously you said like you listened to the people, right? But I feel like it's a perfect length. And it made me think of even Cynical, right? Like how you're managing to do something that's very anti-social media culture, pop culture right now, because for a couple of years, right, people would say, oh, everyone needs to make 30-second, 90 seconds, like very quick kind of songs. Yeah. And for the most part, people have followed that. But you're making songs that are like 3 minutes long, but they sound like it's too short. How are you doing that? Is that like a real question? Like, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just trying to answer it in a way that would make me come across as very smart. So,
Oh,
honestly, I think that songs that feel short but are long are good.
Hmm.
They're made by people who know how to make a song. Not sing, not play, not produce, but know how to make a song. The concept of a producer used to be someone who could put a song together. So Quincy Jones with Michael Jackson wasn't playing every instrument and wasn't making beats, but he knew exactly what was needed in the song. He knew that, and back then it was important to know that because you didn't have the luxury of like recording and then deleting and then chopping in and well, let me just add that verse because everything was analog.
Hmm.
So I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this um, thing where the bassist who played on Thriller literally played ba bum 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 ba bum 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 for 5 minutes. It wasn't someone who had played it for 3 bars and then they copied it to the rest of the song, you
Yeah.
know. And I think what me and one of my publishers, managers, friends talk about is that being a producer has taken so many different kind of definitions in modern music making. If you make a beat, if you put musicians together, if you're an A&R, a lot of these things can be credited as a producer. And I think it should be a bit of everything.
Hmm.
And I think the reason why sometimes short songs feel long is because sometimes the people that put the song together, sometimes not all the time, aren't necessarily 100% on how to put together a song.
Okay.
That is the political answer.
Yes, it's a very broad, like, I don't want to give you the recipe answer.
No, it's not a recipe thing. It's just like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, like bubblegum music is trash. No, it's literally that. It's like, there's some people where popular songs that you love, once you hear it, you'll be like, oh, I know exactly who did this because they're actually a producer who are involved not just in what the music and production sound like, but in the top line, how the artist sings the bridge, the verse, all that kind of stuff. And I think I'm involved in every single aspect of the music making process. Not because I'm a control freak, but because I'm privileged enough to have people around me who are keen to have me around while they're making the music. Yeah, so to be honest with you, like, also, I am an audiophile. I
Yeah.
listen to a lot of music. I've said this to you many times. I listen to a lot of music. So if, yes, there's the technical aspect of how to build a song and how to make a song and how to write a song and how to make chords, all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, once we're done, I listen to the song and feel whether or not it feels good,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah. I wonder if part of it is also like audience investment. And what I mean by that is because of the way you're writing, I'm invested in the story.
Mm.
So Cynical, again, if you think about, you know, when you do the I just need a miracle, and it almost feels like some of the other instruments, whether, I don't know, strings or what, it's kind of like we're complimentary at first and then we're drowning you out. And that makes me feel, and this might be a reach, but it makes me feel like there's no hope for reconciliation here. Like that miracle that you're needing, it's not coming because now.
Again, like music making and songwriting in particular is such a holistic thing. Like I think the certain genres are fine for you to not care about what's going on in the production. I think I couldn't be that artist. So I like I say, it's so holistic, like from top down, top line being the melody and lyrics, all the way down to the production, and the arrangement, what goes where. I think if you're involved in all of that, it means that you can also allow the production and strings and orchestration to influence the melody and lyrics. Yeah, I think that's what it should be, but what do I know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Shekhinah was here, she was telling me that she finally has a house where she has a studio and how it's like made life so much easier for her. When you were working with her for this album, where did you guys record? Or was it another I send, you send?
initially the first thing, obviously, to get like her to be like, oh, I like it, or no, I don't vibe with this, you send. And then we were trying to go back and forth to get a date that could work for both of us, and that was a little tricky. And then eventually we worked at her studio. She graciously allowed us into the space.
Was it nice? Because it sounds nice.
Oh yeah,
like,
but it's a part of the culture.
Happy about it.
Yeah, it's a part of the culture. Like the place that she has, I think, everyone uses it for studio, for rehearsals, for shooting like content. It's like but it's a part of like the music culture, like especially because it's not too far from where I stay either. So yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah.
I really felt like the song embraced me. I don't know why, and I can't articulate it, but it sounds like it was made for Shekhinah. Like it sounds like her song.
Yeah.
Which is not to say it doesn't sound like your song.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Look, intentionality. Like we don't rarely, I mean, what am I saying? I rarely make music with the intention of putting a feature on it without kind of having a hope of who it's going to be. So right now, for example, there are a few songs that I'm working on, and I have a wish list of each song. So it's not like you make a song and then be like, who would fit on this? Which is fine also, obviously, like people can kill that also. But I think with this song, as soon as we started working on it with Christa, we were both like, yeah. Like as we're moving with the song, she could be perfect. She kind of be perfect for this. And as we finish the song, we're like, you send it and you're like,
yeah.
And she literally was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So this is, intentionality, I think, helps, get a feature to sit perfectly on a song.
Yeah. Which I think also speaks to how she has a signature that's evolving, but it's like a thread that's her, but also speaks to, yes, intention, but also being like ability as well. To say like, I'm almost putting myself in someone's wheelhouse.
That's true.
But very serious question. Why are you surprised that someone disappeared? Because you didn't make your intentions about them clear. You see, I'm a daughter. And the audacity to have that be the first thing you say. And then you say like, oh, well.
But that's retrospective wisdom.
No one's perfect here.
That's hindsight. That's turning to your hindsight. But it's like, listen, I think there's one thing that I think in like romantic relationships, there's this thing that I think we miss each other with, men and women especially. We don't necessarily think of time the same. We don't think necessarily of intentionality the same. So the conversation around like, I was unclear is retrospective for me to be like, okay, cool. Once you're like, bro, like, stupid show I'm watching on Netflix, and this one guy is talking about how he took someone he was in a situationship with on a date, and one of the dates was like a wedding to his cousin, like a cousin's wedding.
That's a bit serious.
Yeah, but he's like,
the show?
I mean, it's called No One Likes This, Nobody Wants This, something like that. It's on Netflix, yeah. Okay. Kristen Bell show. And it's funny because I was watching this episode, and he's describing how the situation with one of his exes ended, but also how for him it wasn't that serious. And she describes it completely different. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What's happening is we're missing each other. It's not that one person is right or wrong. This is from
you guys are wrong. Like, how can you be like, oh, I'm not going to be clear about my intentions?
No. That's not what I said. I'm not saying I'm not going to be. I'm saying I wasn't. So yeah, I can see that now. But in the moment, I was like, we chilling, we kicking it, as it were. And then now you're like, okay, cool. I'm tired of this. I'm like, oh, flip, wait, what are you tired of? That's actually, that is true.
I know that it's true that men are crazy. And the reason I like this song, or one of the reasons I like this song, is because even when Shekhinah is singing, she's singing about writing these paragraphs, which I think women get like a bad rap for, right? Because you guys don't be reading them. So now you are here pouring your heart out, and the minute he sees,
yeah, but podcasts Like as soon as I see a whole
Essay.
dissertation, oh.
But then you must read it, because clearly when I've tried to articulate it to you, you weren't listening. Now I've written it. Now you must read it.
Fair.
But it's those dynamics in the song of like...
Exactly. Which is almost perfect. Even this conversation about the song, because it is like the exact perspective. Yeah.
And I really hate that you said no one is perfect here. Like, first of all, you are coming with your...
That's not false.
It is false, because you're coming with your parts about how you have crazy intentions or no intentions. And then you're like, it's almost like I didn't have intentions because you are not perfect.
No. The perspective is my intentions. I didn't express my intentions clearly, which I think is most women's irritation when it comes to men. But your reaction was not an equal and opposite reaction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Be serious, my brother.
Yeah.
Please be serious.
Yeah, but even that be serious chat, like it's easier retrospectively. It's easier for you to be like, Manana, you did this and this and this, and that expressed this and this. And I'm like, oh, flip, okay, cool, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that when we get to her verse, we kind of get like a sense of like the embrace is going to get the relationship back together.
Yeah,
On your verse, very much not. But
I will say that I'm extremely proud that it's so triggering. Like, I think the verse did exactly what it was supposed to.
It needs like a roundtable discussion.
It is perfect, yeah. I would be glad.
Remember those shows about, what was it called, man? Like Daily Theatre and things like that, where you get an audience to be like...
So he said...
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But I want to talk also about, like...
Also, sorry, obviously you're right, you know.
Of course, I'm always right.
Yeah.
Like, even the parts that Shekhinah, right, is singing, like the writing of those, and specifically in the verse, you know, when she's... I'm not going to sing it because, you know, you are the professional, but like it's true, babe, that you play the elusive game. Didn't have to do that, but makes the song so much richer, because also the dragging out of it is like you're playing these games and like...
Even the crazy, it's like when you're like crazy, like you would say, you know, yeah. It honestly, perfection. Yeah, no.
So was that like just all her, and then...
Yeah, it's all her.
Guys, how do your brains work? Like, you're just...
Look, I will say that, like, I always say this, I have the privilege of working with some really talented people, but also, this is rep. Like, she's in studio a lot. Like, I always talk about Nasty C. He's in studio a lot. He is serious in studio. Like, bruh. So, high reps, honestly, I'm yet to see someone who's in studio a lot and serious about it. I'm yet to see them flop in studio. Honestly. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. It's not quite what I want to hear, but you know, I think that most people will not have read our piece on Our Broken Hearts Mend.
Okay.
So, and I think most people in general don't read, so they're not going to come across like a press release or whatever. But I think it is important for us to talk about how the last 5 years, the body of work you've released is this sentence. And so, I'm going to say what the sentence is, but can you talk a little bit more about why you wanted it to be that, and why specifically at around conceptualizing your second project, you were like, this is going to be what it is. So for those of you who don't know, it's in the beginning was the end. But could the moments in between, comma, our broken hearts mend? Did I butcher that?
No, it's perfect.
I was trying to say the years as well, and then I was like, no, that's not going to read well. Never mind.
No, that's perfect, yeah. Yeah, I think the first project was it felt as though it was going to be a statement, and that's all that mattered. When we got a positive reaction, it kind of helped me be more sure of who I want, like what role I want to play in the industry and in people's lives.
Which was what?
Which is someone who takes albums seriously, someone who takes stories seriously. Context is like when I was pitching music to labels before we released that project, a lot of the feedback I was getting was, this is cool, bro, but you need to like work with, a house DJ and work on like a radio hit. And I get it, like not everyone's gonna have vision, and also I will say that everyone has their bottom lines. Like if you work at a label, they want you to do this and do that. So I took it personally then, but I don't anymore. I think after the first release of the project, it became clear to me that no, it's okay for me to be able to be like deeply introspective, to not necessarily try and mend my genre specifics to suit radio, suit anything really. And in turn, it's okay to be a project artist. So release singles every now and then, but always lead people towards the story and a project, an album. So after that first release, and we got a positive response, much better than we thought we would, it was almost like a sigh moment. And I was like, okay, so this journey can, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at what point do you decide this is the trilogy, punctuated by that comma EP, and that this is going to be the title? Because you had the title already mapped out.
Yeah.
Like, what made you think of that title?
Ooh. I'm gonna filter what I can and can't say. What actually made me was the stories that were happening around me, especially in romantic context. A lot of people get into relationships and feel as though, whether it's marriage or partnering or whatever a long-term relationship looks like for you, you think that is the goal and the achievement, and that's the end.
Yeah.
And it very rarely is, or if ever. And we released the first project, and then a lot of things happened to a lot of people in that time. And the title then is now fully thought out, and it's like, okay, cool, this is what this is going to be. It's going to be about trying to poeticize the ups and downs of life, like I've said, and try package it in a way that people could kind of be invested in and want to follow. I don't know if that answers the question, but
I get you.
Yeah.
So at the point at which, when 2025 ends, you've decided in the beginning was the end, but could the moments in between, comma, our broken hearts mend, full stop. Full stop is very like, don't ask me anything anymore. Yeah. It's very like, why? Because you could have just said extended or part 2 or whatever, right? But you decided this body of work?
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I think, to be fair, it is a no further questions, Your Honor. It's like, we've stated the facts and all the arguments, and there's nothing more to be said. I think also, we've obviously closed it off and ended it, but I think the stories within the entire trilogy are truer now than they were maybe when we started it. It's like, I don't need to say anything about that. You can go back and revisit to hear about the euphoria, to hear about the pulchritudinous things, and to hear about the call me's. And it's hilarious. Someone was talking to me about call me last week, speaking about how they went through that exact situation. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm pretty sure people will be going through, hopefully. I don't need to say hopefully, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea was it's the book is written and now it's on the shelf. It's not to say that you can't go back and open it, but it's to be like, okay, cool. Now we look to the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with nostalgia as an artist? Let me maybe explain.
Mm-hmm.
As an artist who's got these bodies of work under your belt, and those bodies of work mean something collectively within culture, but also individually, the fact that someone is coming to you to speak to you about a song you wrote whenever, do you feel boxed in? Do you feel like, you know what I mean?
I do.
Do you want me to move on to the next thing?
No. The answer is no.
Okay.
I try not to take anything too seriously, if I'm honest. I don't take myself too seriously, which means I then, in turn, don't really take anyone else seriously.
Okay.
It helps me, holding loosely to certain things helps me kind of make sense of life and also relate to people better. Because I think if I get stuck on what's either expected of me or what I've said or done, I think it's a tough place to start creating something new from.
Yeah.
So no is the short answer. Only because I think it helps me serve people, better, fresh product. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to talk to me.
Thank you for talking to me. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you feel like, you know what you didn't ask me? Is there anything else that you feel like I didn't ask you that you really want people to know?
I am really keen to watch Arsenal lift the Premier League in May. I think that's probably at the top of my mind right now. I'm in studio as well.
Perpetually. Which means there's probably something that you've dropped on the interwebs that is going to come in 2 years.
Funny enough, we're going to take a new approach with this new project. What I do want to do, might be spilling the tea a little bit here. I want to involve people a bit more on the decisions as far as what ends up being on the project.
Oh, democracy. I hate that for me.
Why?
Because people's taste sometimes. Now I'm going to get what they want.
I mean, look, it's democracy with a touch of communism, if you know what I mean. Like, at the end of the day, I am the czar who's going to decide what ends up on the project, probably. But at the same time, I'd like to play music for people and hear what they actually think about stuff that they've never heard before. I think we all try to be objective, but it's not really possible, if we're honest. Whereas if someone hears something for the first time, their initial reaction is usually probably the most honest one. And then you get to meditate and think deeper about what you actually think you feel like, so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, I'm not answering your question. There's nothing else I feel like I need to share other than thank you so much for having me. Yeah. This was my favorite interview.
Oh, thank you.
Indeed.
Good luck to Arsenal. I know that means
you don't need
something.
luck. We're really good. So thank you anyway.
Manana, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Helen.
Indeed.
We'll see you on the next episode. Bye.